Hello, all you amazing, intuitive, empathic, sensitive people and healers. Today's topic is all about your life force. Like, what is it? How do you raise it? What does it mean? And how it ends up getting lowered as you live. And life force is one of those things that can get lowered really, really quickly. And what life force means is that the higher it is, the more likely you are to stay healthy in your body for years to come. So stay tuned to hear more. This is Anastasia. I used to be a physics professor specializing in vibrational and quantum physics. After recovering from a serious illness using energy healing on myself, the calling to heal became so strong that I had to quit my 40-year research career. I replaced my 6-figure professor's salary within 5 months using a simple but not easy 3-step system that I worked out to grow my healing practice. Now I help other healers grow their practices, whether they're just starting or already have a practice, with this same 3-step system. I'm all about helping you to listen in to learn more. Thank you so much for coming back. And today's topic is all about your life force. What is it energetically? What does it mean for you? So when your life force is high, what it means is that your spirit is centered in your body and it is locked down in it. So if you have like a 90 to 100% life force, it means that you're not going anywhere anytime soon if things in your life continue the way they are right now. And what that means is that an event can change all that. So, for example, if you're in a bad car accident and your body is mangled up and you go into a hospital, let's say you have a traumatic brain injury, you've got some broken limbs, and your spirit's looking at your body going, this body is trashed, I'm out of here. That's when your life force can drop in a moment's notice. And I experienced that with somebody who was in his 50s. He was on a bicycle and got hit by a truck. He was T-boned and he suffered 2 broken limbs and traumatic brain injury. And when I was asked to go help heal him, that's what his spirit was telling me. Right? He wanted to leave and his life force was below 10%. So 100% is when you are completely centered, you're locked in. I get that reading a lot from very young people. And as you age, right? So by the time you're at 60, if you have lived a healthy life, your life force will be at around 60%. And if you are around 80, your life force will be at around 20%, right? That's the natural aging process. But if you take steps to help your spirit get re-embodied, like it's locked down in your body, and you are doing a lot of the energy hygiene that really helps you stay in your body, then you will tend to be healthier, your brain will be more active, more creative, and you'll be able to do a lot more things than other people in your same age category, right? So at 70 right now, my life force is reading just over 90%, right? So that means I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, and I can bring it up. And I just brought it up to 99% just by doing a very simple check and lock myself down. So the way your life force is attached, the way your spirit is attached to your body is through your pancreas. Why the pancreas? Your pancreas regulates the sweetness in your body. Right? If you end up with too high of a blood sugar, it drops it. And if it's too low, it raises it. So the pancreas regulates the insulin, and it is its antagonist. So insulin is the agonist and its antagonist is glucagon. So they're both polypeptides. Chemically, they're both polypeptides, mean they're made out of, I don't know, a few hundred amino acids chained together, and they operate in your cellular mechanisms to release fat into the bloodstream and turn it into energy, or sweep the energy out of your bloodstream, too much sugar out of your bloodstream, and turn it into fat. And that is how your body will keep it wants to be homeostatic, meaning homeostasis means that it wants to stay within a very narrow range. And when that starts going haywire, that's when trouble happens. And by keeping your life force high, you help regulate that blood sugar as well, right? So I'll just name a few of the ways. I named one already where your life force can drop precipitously. That is if you're in an accident, if you've suffered some sort of traumatic injury in a car accident or falling down off a bicycle, if you've been beat up, right, or assaulted or raped, some way hurt in this way, if you've been caught in gunfire, right, your life force can drop really quickly. Or if you are suffering from a bad illness, you've been depressed for a really long time and you just want to be off the planet, your life force will drop really, really quickly. Now, let's say that you really want to stay here, not because of fear, right? A lot of us fear crossing over to the other side, but a lot of us want to stay here because being on this planet is so awesome, right? It's amazing. Right now, it's a beautiful, crisp, cold, sunny day in Southern California. It just rained the last couple of days, so everything is getting greener and greener, and the air is so clean you can see all the mountains around the whole basin, and it is gorgeous. So who wouldn't want to be here for that, right? Plus, all my relationships are awesome. So that's why my life force stays very high, because remember, relationships are super duper important, right? So what do you do to keep your life force high, right? So some of the things that are really helpful is to get your spirit down in your body. What happens with a lot of us is we tend to be cerebral. I'm no exception. I work a lot with my head and my heart. I'm very emotional. You might not look it, but I am. And what'll happen is that you pull yourself up towards your head, right? And people that do that is they start vacating their lower body. And this is the first steps of dying, right? Is vacating the lower body. What happens in the dying process, and clairvoyants have seen this, is that your chakras or your energy centers start to unravel and they stop working, and they do that from the bottom up, right? You stay attached here at the top until the very end. And so by pulling yourself back down into your body, it is very helpful. So there are a couple of ways of doing this. So one of them is in some of the free meditations I have for you to download, which you can download off my website. And one of them creates a bubble, a golden bubble, a healing bubble above your head, in which you have your spirit up there. And you let the golden bubble sink down into your body and filling everything down to your fingers and toes. And when I do that, when I just say that, I can feel my spirit filling everything, because your spirit animates your body, right? So that's the first step. And the second step is to attach yourself via the pancreas. So the pancreas is on the left side of the body. This is my left hand, and it's kind of pointed down towards, right? It points a little bit down. It's like around the stomach, points a little bit downward, and you can just imagine the spirit getting attached here. You can even imagine a big golden staple stapling the spirit to the body, right? Gold is healing. So that's one way to do it. Another is, of course, to increase the validation that you have, because when you validate yourself, so you can still create that golden bubble above your head and validate yourself. I am loved. I am significant. I am important. I am valuable. I am loving, right? I am productive. I am creative. Anything that you value, what your personal values are, the human values, what they are, you put them in an I am statement and you put them in the bubble. And then you let the bubble also sink through from the top of your head, down through your crown, down into your body, and help increase the validation. That validation makes you want to stay here, because when you are hurt or in pain, or you have something dark, like any kind of trauma that you've suffered, right? It turns that area dark. You're lighting it back up again. So this is all about the energy of it. And then the other thing that I want to address today is not just that your life force goes up, right? You can raise your life force just by taking a deep breath in and filling in all the corners with your spirit, and then just imagine the pancreas attaching itself to the spirit once you're centered, right? And you can raise your life force that way. You can also just imagine healing energy coming in through your pancreas, filling up your whole body, and imagining that you are staying here, right? You are attached to your body, right? Your spirit. Your body is just the envelope or the chalice that your spirit and soul are held in, right? So you want to stay here. So being attached with life force, and a lot of times I just send golden healing energy. I bring people down and I send golden healing energy, and imagining that attachment, that spiritual attachment to your physical self increases, because it goes through the quantum field, right? The quantum field defines everything here. We are sitting in the quantum field, and the quantum field, your body is an energy and your spirit is an energy, and you want to imagine them completely enmeshed. And the more enmeshed it is, the higher your life force. And when your life force is very high, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. So now, what happens if something traumatic happens to you? Your emotions drop, right? They drop in frequency. Your physical self is in pain. You are going, I don't think I want to be here anymore. I've heard spirits say this to me all the time. I don't want to be here anymore. People do not want to be in damaged bodies, just like animals. When animals are in very damaged bodies, unless you communicate with them, they will usually die very quickly. Like I had a cat tell me, I'm done for now. And I asked her to stay a little longer, and she did, but then she said, finally, I'm releasing you, because I was taking a lot of good care for her and doing a lot of healing on her. So that's the thing. You really want to, because of the way we think, being here is a good thing, right? So you want to keep yourself in here, and a lot of times the trauma has a memory associated with it that's extremely painful, and it is like PTSD. You have the event that happened, and you have this bungee cord that attaches you to the event, and every once in a while that bungee cord will spring you right back to where you were before, recreating that emotional trauma over and over again. So there is something called the Akashic Record, and you may have heard people refer to it as that everything that's ever happened in the universe is in the Akashic record. The Akashic record is a list of facts, right? So one way to deal with the memories that might hurt you is imagine the Akashic record as an encyclopedia and opening it up, and you're recording the tragic event, the traumatic event that happened in there. And it is saving it for you so you remember that that event happened, but it releases you from the emotional trauma. So you can just cut and release the emotional trauma away from you and have it there. So now you know that that event happened, but the emotional trauma is no longer there. So when I think back of some of the emotional events that happened to me, I am no longer emotionally, like I'm a very emotional person. I am no longer emotionally affected in quite the same way as I was before. Like when I think about my mom passing away, that was very traumatic for me, right? But when after she passed, it took me about a year before I felt normal again. And now when I think of her passing, I do not have that same emotional, it does not have that same emotional impact on me. And there are people that their parents have passed 20 years ago and they still are affected, and their lives are impacted in a way that's painful. And our parents don't want that for us, right? They want us to thrive. They didn't give birth to us so we would get hurt by their passing. They want us to thrive and live fully and be happy. So by using the Akashic records, just recording it down in your mind's eye, recording it down, putting it away, and giving it back to the Akashic records keeper, it's very helpful in releasing a lot of that emotional pain that keeps bringing you back to that event. So I talked about a couple of things today. First, what is your life force, right? What is it? How you can help raise your life force very quickly by imagining you filling in your whole body and attaching yourself to the pancreas. And third, by releasing the emotional impact by recording your event in the Akashic record so you know that it happened, but it no longer brings you back to where you were before. So I hope that was helpful today, so you know how to release the trauma that's been in your body so you can move past it and get to the next step. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for taking valuable time out of your day to listen in. If you found this message helpful, please help spread the word by giving the broadcast a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. Share it with your friends and be sure to subscribe to my channel with your notifications on. For further training on healing and growing your healing business using my 3-step system, go to www.highpaidhealers.com, and I'll see you in the next video.